At exactly 2:18 a.m., a single email left a secure government server. There was no alarm. No flashing warning. No sudden panic. Just data, quietly moving. By sunrise, 3 intelligence agencies were compromised. 2 confidential informants were dead. And a man named Edgar Whitlow had already erased himself. No forced entry. No broken code. No gunshots. Just access. This was not a robbery. This was not a hack. This was betrayal. I am Harriet Sinclair. And this is the Fall Chronicles. Edgar Whitlow never stood out. If you passed him in a hallway, you would forget him moments later. If you sat beside him on a train, you would not remember his face. If you worked with him for years, you would struggle to describe him. That was his greatest strength. Mid-40s. Neutral posture. Plain suits in dull colors. No expensive watch. No sharp shoes. No confidence that demanded attention. Edgar did not dominate rooms. He blended into them. And in the world of power, blending in is more dangerous than standing out. Edgar was raised in a household where silence was normal. His father worked in public service. His mother believed privacy was safety. Nothing loud was encouraged. Nothing emotional was rewarded. Edgar learned early that being unnoticed meant being unbothered. Teachers described him as reliable. Employers described him as consistent. No one ever described him as ambitious. They were wrong. Edgar was ambitious. He just didn't announce it. Edgar worked in information compliance, a department most people misunderstand. He didn't decide policy. He didn't approve missions. He didn't issue commands. He decided who saw what. Which document was delayed. Which name stayed buried. Which communication reached its destination. He controlled flow. And flow is power. People above him assumed he was harmless. People below him assumed he was irrelevant. That made him invisible. The first time Edgar crossed the line, it was not dramatic. It wasn't money. It was curiosity. A small request from an external consultant. A schedule. A minor access adjustment. No consequences followed. No investigation. No warning. That moment taught Edgar a dangerous truth. The system trusted him completely. The first sale came months later. A name quietly removed from an internal watch list. A travel restriction lifted without explanation. The payment arrived offshore. Small. Clean. Edgar didn't spend it. He watched it sit there. Money untouched is power waiting. People who monitor systems noticed patterns. People who understood leverage noticed Edgar. They approached indirectly. Never directly. Consultants. Advisors. Neutral voices. They never said the word crime. They said opportunity. You already hold power, they told him. You're just unpaid. The requests grew. Not faster. Just deeper. Internal disputes. Surveillance gaps. Informant placements. Each exchange was calm. Professional. No panic. No emotion. Edgar didn't feel like a criminal. He felt like a businessman. Edgar prepared long before the final act. Secondary identities. Multiple travel routes. Financial structures layered across borders. He understood one thing clearly. Institutions move slowly. Individuals move quietly. 2:18 a.m. The office was empty. The system recognized him instantly. The email contained more than data. It contained leverage. By the time it was discovered, it was already too late. Edgar logged out. And never logged back in. Meetings happened behind closed doors. Voices lowered. Blame redirected. No public announcement. Because admitting the truth meant admitting vulnerability. And vulnerability is the enemy of authority. Informants disappeared. Assets were burned. Operations collapsed quietly. No names mentioned. Edgar's file was sealed. Edgar Whitlow was never arrested. Never charged. Never named. He exists somewhere between borders. Living comfortably. Quietly. Protected by what he knows. The real crime was not the sale. It was access without accountability. It was trust without oversight. It was assuming quiet men are harmless. Crime does not always break doors. Sometimes it logs in. Sometimes it smiles politely. And sometimes it retires peacefully. This has been the Fall Chronicles. And some crimes will never be punished.